All right, we are back. Week 2 NFL picks. We got a full squad here today. We got Joel. Oh gosh, I almost put it the wrong way. We got Joel, newcomer Kyle, and then we got Gledhill and Preston back. So go ahead and say what's up, guys.
What's up?
Howdy.
All right.
I'm not Kyle for the record.
Yes.
Howdy, partner.
So I went to Google NFL matchups and it autocorrected to NFL Math Cup and it searched it in Yahoo.
All right. Well, so last week, so we have 9 people doing NFL picks this year, and it was a crazy week. So after week 1, we have 3 people tied for first, and it's me, Eric Harrison, and Taylor, 12-3-1. Joel's 11-4 with Gledhill, 11-4-1 with Gledhill, so y'all are tied. And then we got Gage and Cade that are 10-5-1, and then Preston and Kyle are tied for last, but they're 9-6-1. So we all had a pretty good week. So
Really well, yeah.
So not bad at all. But so let's go ahead and get into these games. We're gonna try to move a little bit faster this week just because we have more people. So let's go ahead and get on into it. So what's the first game we got, Joel? Don't even know.
We'll go Titans versus
Bucks Panthers.
Oh no,
baby.
no, Panthers Buccaneers. That's Thursday Night Football. So Preston, I'll go ahead and let you take off the go ahead and say it because I know you want to.
Panthers are a 5-point favorite.
Me?
No, Preston, take it.
Okay, so once again, I think the Buccaneers are going to have a worse record this year than the Dolphins. Even after week 1, even after seeing what happened week 1, I still think the Buccaneers are going to have the worst record in the league. So, of course, I'm picking the Panthers this week to win a close one. Panthers didn't look that great against the Rams. Cam didn't look as impressive as everybody said he was going to be. So I'm going medium scoring game. I'd say 24-17 Panthers.
Yeah, so last year, these two split a game. The first game of the season, Cam Newton pretty much toyed with their defense for the most part, but then the second game, he was battling a shoulder injury, and they lost. So Tampa Bay, I don't care what you say. I said this last week. I don't care what you say about them. With Bruce Arians or not, they're mediocre at best. Jameis Winston is a bum. Their offense is terrible. Mike Evans had 2 catches last week.
He let me down in fantasy.
They did not give him the ball, and their defense was one of the worst in the league last year. Nothing has changed, even with Bruce Arians. They're a 7-9 team at best, last in their division. So they're going to lose this game. I'm going to say it's pretty close just because rivalry game, you never know what to expect. Panthers, actually, I disagree, Preston. I think the Panthers didn't look too bad against the Rams, but also the Rams didn't look too good either. So, it kind of leveled out. Rams have some work to do for sure. But I think the Panthers are going to go ahead and get this win. Is it in Tampa Bay?
No, it's in Carolina.
Yeah, and that just kind of puts icing on the cake. So I got the Panthers.
Panthers are favored by 6.5 points.
I got the Panthers 27-20. All right, Gledhill, who you got?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Jameis Winston is the guy. I think the Buccaneers definitely have one of the worst rosters in the entire National Football League. And an interesting storyline to follow. Gerald McCoy will be facing his former team.
Oh yeah.
Boomer Sooner.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. I got the Panthers in this one. Somewhat high scoring. I think I have both teams in the 30s. I think it'll be 37-31. I'm going to take the Panthers at home.
That's a big game. All right, yeah. All right, who you got, Kyle?
Listen, we haven't talked about it. Christian McCaffrey, the man popped off. He had like 45 points or something in fantasy.
Dude, he went
It's
off.
a no-brainer. The Panthers are taking this one to the house. We're going 21-14.
All right, nice.
Damn.
Fair enough. Joel, who you got?
I agree with a lot of what Kyle said, but I'm going a little bit higher scoring for the Panthers, 24-14, 10-point blowout, baby.
All right, not much more to say. Next game, what do we got?
Next game up will be
I'm writing mine in.
San Francisco at Cincinnati.
Okay. Whoa. Okay, so Cincinnati actually surprisingly looked very good last week against the Seahawks.
John Ross, man.
Yeah, John Ross went off. Joe Mixon he got banged up. He didn't do anything. So anybody who had Joe Mixon in fantasy, I'm so sorry.
First overall pick.
But, he's questionable. I don't know if he's going to play. But I'm actually going to go ahead and take the Bengals here in an upset. I like what I saw from them last week. And Cincinnati.
Bengals are
Huh?
Bengals
Bengals are favorite?
That's not an upset.
2 points.
2 points. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I feel like a lot of people would pick the 49ers this week. I don't know why. Anyways,
It's at Cincinnati.
It's at Cincinnati. Yeah, I'm taking the Bengals. I think this is going to be kind of a more boring game, to be honest. I think it's going to be like 24-17 type game. I just think Cincinnati's going to, earlier in the season, like I said, they're a mediocre team, but earlier in the season they looked pretty good. Like last year, I think they started off like 6-3 or something, 6-4. Like they were not that
They
bad.
come out swinging.
They always come out swinging, but then at the end of the day, they're Cincinnati. So I'm going to take them in a close 24-17 game. So who do you have this game, Joel?
Ooh, for me, look, Jimmy G is no Russell Wilson by any stretch of the imagination. And Russell Wilson barely pulled that one out of his butt, honestly. And in Seattle. So I think Andy Dalton, gotta give him credit. He went off last week, so I'm thinking he's gonna keep rolling. Cincinnati's gonna keep rolling, and I think they're taking the 49ers. They're stealing their lunch this week. I'm gonna go touchdown. Cincinnati wins by a touchdown, 21-14.
Kyle, who you got?
Listen, I got Joe Mixon on my fantasy team, and he was about the biggest disappointment I've had. I also had Tyreek Hill and Hunter Henry go down this week,
You
so
hate
the
to see
fantasy
it.
team is just it's tough, but we're still gonna win the league, so I'm not concerned. But if we're gonna take picks on San Fran versus the old Cincy, I gotta go with the team closer to home, and it's gotta be the Bengals. Bengals are gonna win it. I'll give it to you, 24-10. Andy Dalton, historically, the Bengals either start off really, really freaking hot or really, really bad, and they started out hot, so they're gonna keep it rolling.
Yeah, I mean, despite the loss, it was still like they fought in there in Seattle. And like I said before, Seattle doesn't lose games at home to AFC opponents. Like they've only lost twice. And Gledhill brought up that stat to me last year. So yeah. So Gledhill, who do you got?
Yeah, so I think these teams are kind of similar, I would say. I mean, both quarterbacks kind of have something to prove. Dalton looked good last week. Garoppolo looked okay. Man, I'm going to kind of go with my gut here, and I'm going to take the 49ers to win this one. Let's go 26-23. Yeah, I got the 49ers.
Okay.
Big day for the kicker.
Preston, who you got?
Yeah, so this is definitely going to be a quick one, but I'm going to go back to my rules from last year, and that's when in doubt, take the home team. So I got the Bengals winning. I'm going to take the spread. I'll go 23-21.
Okay. Yeah, and one more thing I wanted to mention, San Francisco's defense looked really good last year, but last week, but it was against the Buccaneers. So I think they're going to come back to reality this week, but that's just what I think. All right, so you got Bengals. Oh, what'd you say the score was, Preston?
23-21.
Okay, sweet. Next game.
All right, next game up is the Chargers at Detroit, and the Chargers are a 2.5 point favorite on the road.
All right, you can take it, Joel.
Only 2.5?
Only 2.5.
I
Hey,
might throw some money.
All right,
bro, if you're
so
location, that'd be
I
that'd be a
thought the
5.5
Chargers
point
looked
game.
pretty good last week. I think they still have a pretty solid run game even without Melvin Gordon. Austin Eckler looked great, both catching the ball and running it. I think their offense is just fine. I really like their front seven. I think the Chargers are a good team. I don't know if they're necessarily Super Bowl contenders, but even on the road here at Detroit, I thought the Detroit's defense looked pretty good against Arizona. But even on the road, I got to take the Chargers here. I'm going to go 30-20. Chargers win.
Okay. Preston, who you got?
This is a tough one for me because Chargers almost blew that game last week against the Colts. And man, oh man, I feel like they're due for an upset. But, Austin Eckler's going to go up and prove. Lions also have something to prove, though, after tying against the freaking Cardinals last week in a horrific fourth quarter in overtime. But, yes, I'm going to go Chargers, and then I'll match Gledhill. I'll go 30-20.
Okay. So they're playing in Detroit?
They're playing in Detroit this week.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and take the Chargers in a close game. I think the Chargers are going to pull away with another close win. Colts looked really good, but you got to keep in mind that even without Andrew Luck, they still have a really solid team around him, especially with the defense. T.Y. Hilton had to come in. I mean, they were up pretty big, and T.Y. Hilton had to come in clutch. Jacoby Brissett played good, which is we were kind of expecting. Not like great, but he played pretty good. He played good enough. Like, he didn't throw anything. I think he only threw like 180 yards or something like that, but not bad. This is going to be this might be a possible trap game for the Chargers just because they're kind of decimated right now with the injuries. Hunter Henry's now out for like the season, I think, or 4 to 6 weeks or something like that. Russell Okung, their offensive tackle's hurt. Derwin James, he's been out with a stress fracture in his foot for a couple weeks. And then they also have Mike Williams, who's banged up right now. So I don't even know if he's playing. So they're decimated right now with the injuries. However, I trust Phillip Rivers right now over Matthew Stafford. Even him being in Detroit, I think you're going to get a really close. I think it's going to be a closer game, 24-20. I got Chargers. So who you got?
Listen, it was a heartbreaker last week. Being a Colts fan, we've had a lot of big upsets this season. It's tough. It's tough. I really thought we were going to pull it out there. We lost it to our 46-year-old kicker. You can't hate the man too much. 46. We had to pull him from the retirement home. But I did see one thing, and that was Austin Eckler absolutely just demolished the Colts. 3 touchdowns. Have him on my fantasy team, so
that can't go.
That helped. But I also have Hunter Henry. Now he's done. But for me, it's a no-brainer. 34-7 Chargers.
Dang, blowout.
Wow.
Oh my god.
I think you guys forget that Detroit's not a good team.
Look,
yeah,
Detroit is not a good team.
I agree with you that they are not a good team, but in this situation,
Matt Patricia's not a good coach.
No,
so
he's not. But Matt Stafford, aka Pat Stafford, will pad the stats in the fourth quarter like he normally does, and so I think it's gonna be a little bit closer than you think. Detroit still has no shot of winning it, but I think they're going to go down and score a meaningless touchdown in the fourth quarter and, let's say, make it 28-30.
What? That close?
Hey, that would be the spread. It's a 2-point
meaningless
favorite.
touchdown.
All right, did everyone pick?
Red Detroit's ass cheeks.
Does everyone have Chargers?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, next game. What we got?
All right, next game is Minnesota at Green Bay. Green Bay a 3-point favorite.
All right,
this is a good one.
you want to start this one, Kyle?
I will start this one. Listen, the Packers looked very average to me. They think they were overhyped. They got a good defense, yeah, but they only won by 3 against Mitch Trubisky, who I think Eric could have gone out there and thrown better passes than Mitch Trubisky.
I would hope so.
I'm going out. Aaron Rodgers has got Aaron Rodgers magic. He's a beast. Devontae Adams is also. They're gonna have a great game, but it's gonna be the Vikings. First upset. I'm taking the Vikings. Let's go. It's gonna be close. This is gonna be a close one. 28-25. Last second field goal.
Preston, who you got?
Yep. So, Vikings. Natty Ice. In that Falcons team last week. Packers, like you said, look very average. So, with that in mind, Green Bay 3-point favorite. I don't understand necessarily why they're the favorite. I guess maybe because they're in Lambeau and because, it's Aaron Rodgers, right? I'm going to take the Vikings. I say the Vikings are a close game. It's going to be like 24-21.
Okay, 24-21. All right.
Wow.
Gledhill, who you got?
I think this could be honestly one of our better games of the week. I liked how both teams played last week overall. I like the Vikings roster everywhere except for at quarterback. Kirk Cousins is average. He'll win you some games. But I like the way Dalvin Cook played. He's obviously a really running back. I think it's going to be really close, but I'm going to go ahead and take I don't know, man. My gut's telling me Green Bay in this one.
Okay.
Finally,
Packers 30-27.
All right, so Joel, you can go ahead and pick. I'm guessing you have the Packers.
Jeez, Connolly's Vikings. Aaron Rodgers, after he got his warm-up game, him and Matt LaFleur working together now. I just think they're going to come out at home in Green Bay, and Vikings don't stand a chance. I'm calling this one not as close as anyone remotely thinks it's going to be this week. I'm going. It's 21-30 Green Bay, easy dub.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and have to disagree with you on that one. I have the Vikings taking this one, and I'm
Wow.
taking the Vikings because the Packers, like Kyle said it just right, average at best last week. They were playing a Bears defense that's really good, but for how bad Mitch Trubisky was throwing the football, the Packers should have blew them out. Like, they were not capitalizing. Aaron Rodgers was hanging onto the ball way too much. Minnesota's defense matches up really well against Green Bay all the time, no matter where they play.
I'd say Green Bay's defense did look pretty good, though. And I like that
This is the
Savage
defense
kid
the
at
Packers
safety.
have had in years.
Yeah, okay, they looked good, but Chicago's offense looked terrible.
Bad.
All right.
Okay,
Here's
what
Pat.
does that have to do with Aaron Rodgers?
They got to give it to Tariq
Packers
Cohen.
defense going to keep them in games, going to keep Minnesota's keep them scoring low, and then Aaron Rodgers is going to be lighting up the field.
Well, I don't think Aaron Rodgers even looked that good overall. Like, he looked decent.
I mean, he
But-
didn't take a snap during the preseason.
The reason I took the Vikings is because of how good their defense looked
Yeah.
against the Falcons. And,
They're
they were able to get some production on offense.
All I got to say is the Vikings match up really well against the Packers, and I think spoiler alert, right now I have the Vikings as that favorite to win the division as of right now because they look the best
Oh my
uh,
gosh.
Dalvin-
out of the NFC North. Now, the only thing I'm concerned about this game is obviously it's hard to win games in Lambeau, but the second thing is Kirk Cousins threw 10 passes against the Falcons. He only threw 10. You can't do that against Green Bay. You got to throw the ball. And the reason that they were so successful with it is because Atlanta's rush defense was getting killed the whole game. Dalvin Cook and Alexander Madison were running all over the Falcons' rushing defense. Dalvin Cook, he's back, man. He's looking really good. He's just got to stay healthy. I'm liking Dalvin Cook. And Adam Thielen he was like a bus driver. He had like a couple good catches. Like I think Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs had a total of 5 catches from both of their top
Eric,
receivers.
You're proving my point here, bro.
Yes.
You're proving my point.
So it's a risk, but I'm going to go ahead and take an upset because, hey, learn from the guy that's winning picks right now after week 1. I'm going to take the Vikings in a close game. I'm going to say this is going to be a shootout. I'm going to say 31-28. They're going to win by a field goal. And, yeah, Dan the Man Bailey, he's going to take the game-winning field goal. Let's
Dan
go.
Bailey.
Dan
Shout out to
Bailey.
Dan Bailey,
All right.
though.
Woo!
Honestly.
Go
hey,
Cowboys.
I got you this. It was a 2-for-1 sale. If you want both, you can take them now, or you can take them on Sunday.
Hey.
All right, we went 4 for 5 on the
You know
Vikings
what?
here.
I'm going to be right this week. All right.
All within 3.
Is that it?
Okay.
Did everyone pick?
That's
Yep.
everyone. Let's hit
All right,
next.
next
Okay.
game.
Next game, a division game. Indianapolis at. Oh, no, not a division game. I read that wrong.
No, it isn't.
At Tennessee. Oh, yeah.
Tennessee sucks.
Kyle, take it away. Your team.
I got it. Oh, dude, no brainer for me. Colts all the way, 35-0.
You hate to see it. You hate to see it. After Tennessee came out and gave the land an ass whooping, bro.
No matter.
Dang.
Marcus
Alright, well,
Mariota's shit. He came from the Pac-12.
I'll give mine now. I think Tennessee's taking this one and running with it. I mean, Indy can hold up for a little bit with Jacoby Brissett, but more tape's going to come out, and he's just going to keep getting exposed for being a backup quarterback. I'm taking Tennessee over the Colts 24-17.
You suck.
I have Tennessee winning by 10. I think they're going to win 20. No, I think they're going to win 24-14. Pretty big win. I think Tennessee's defense is really underrated. They looked really good against the Browns. They forced 3 turnovers. I credit that the Browns are still the Browns at the end of the day, but for how good that the Browns looked on the first drive, I was like, okay, this game might be a blowout for the Browns. But Tennessee came back, Cameron Wake off the side, off the edge, and then having guys like Logan Ryan, in the secondary, they're good, man. They're really underrated defense. Malcolm Butler, he's kind of on and off, but he can play decent sometimes. I just like Tennessee's defense. I think they're really underrated, and I feel like they'll be able to stop the Colts more than the Chargers did, I think. So I think it's gonna be pretty close at first, but I have like Joel said, Tennessee pulling away in the end. I'm gonna say 24-14, big win at home. Marcus Mariota, he's gonna make some plays with his feet, and they're gonna get a good win. So I got Tennessee 24-14. Gledhill, who do you have?
Yeah, I mean, you could just see, Tennessee, it almost looked like they just came out with a chip on their shoulder last week. Everyone was hyping up the Browns, and not a ton of people were talking about the Titans, and they came out and they showed that they could definitely be a playoff contender and perhaps Super Bowl contender. Later in the season, I think Marcus Mariota has a ton of weapons. I like their offensive line. I like the receivers he has. Derrick Henry is obviously a beast. Everyone knows that.
Freaking monster, man.
And that defense, man, like you said, super underrated. I think this is going to be another very interesting game. One that I'm really going to be keeping a close eye on. I think it's close, but I think the Colts might also have a really big chip on their shoulder. Like they're trying to prove, hey, we still have a really good roster. Like we can win with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. But I'm going to take the Titans in this one, 27-24.
Yeah, can't sleep on the Colts, man. I mean, I know I think they're going to win pretty decisively. Like 10 points is pretty decisive, but you can't sleep on the Colts. They could make it a game. So
heck yeah, I almost beat the Chargers.
Preston,
they're good.
Totally agree with everything you said, Gledhill. Both teams are playing like they have huge chips on their shoulders, and this is going to be pretty much a running back battle. Got Marlon Mack against Derrick Henry. Both had really big weeks last week. And so, it's going to be which team can stop the run. Titans were able to shut down Nick Chubb last week, and then Colts weren't able to really stop Austin Eckler at all. So that's where I kind of give this game to the Titans. It's going to come down to whoever can set the tone running the football and get into the game. So I'd say Titans win, and I do think they pull away in the fourth quarter, kind of like they did with the Browns, because they just wore down like the Browns defense, plus penalties and everything like that. But that's another story for when we get to the Monday night game. I'd say Titans win 35-24.
dang. So you got them scoring another 30-point game, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, and I think it was really impressive. What really impressed me about Tennessee was the fact that they were able to kind of utilize Delaney Walker back because last year he got hurt. And Corey Davis kind of took over last year once Delaney Walker went down. And Corey Davis didn't even have a catch this past game. So, once they get him in the mix with, Delaney Walker and the run game with Derrick Henry, Titans might be a force to be reckoned with. So, they looked really good. I mean, you can shit on the Browns as much as you want, but I think in the end the Titans just really looked really good. So, but yeah. So, anyways, next game.
All right, this one's some easy money. Easy. Everyone should get this one right, okay? If you don't, I'll be upset with you. Obviously, Miami as a 19-point underdog will wreck the Patriots. Absolutely.
Hey, Miracle in Miami 2.0.
2.0, baby.
Okay.
No, 19-point favorites in Miami.
Okay, so let me point out this real quick. Tom Brady is 7-10 in Miami. 7-10 in Miami. So it would be so easy for me to pick the Dolphins. Psych! I got the Patriots 40-0. I think this is.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Last year,
the miracle.
Well, if I can say this on the record, two people that Eric Gledhill and I know made a bet on this game that the Patriots would win, and that the Dolphins would win, and the Dolphins ended up winning this game last year in Miami, and the loser of that bet still has to streak south over. They haven't done it yet.
Wow. Zachary Williams, right?
No.
Wow.
No, 8.
Oh yeah, you're right.
But I wouldn't say anything because we can't bet on sports.
Duh. Well, no one knows. I guess not yet. All right. Anyways. So yeah, okay. I was just kidding with the 40-0 thing. I know it's Baltimore blew out Miami, so it's really easy to say Patriots can blow them out. They probably will, but I'm gonna say it's a little bit closer because for some odd reason, Tom Brady likes playing like shit in Miami and in September. So there's something with that whole conspiracy thing. Yeah.
Isn't it the Patriots? Is it Miami?
No, it's Miami.
Oh, it's in Miami.
So
Because they're
nonetheless, is Antonio Brown playing this week?
Antonio Brown.
He
Depending on his most recent allegations, it has not been announced if he is playing or not. But I do think that they will play until something is more proven on that front. But I just see the Patriots going in Miami, and look, Tom Brady isn't that good anyways. He's definitely overrated for sure.
Sobriety is rare.
They're going to pound the ball, run game. I think 30-point victory. Patriots 42, Miami Let's go 14.
I'm going to say 42-17. I'll give Miami 17 points just because it's a division game and Tom Brady's kind of skeptical in Miami. Still going to be a blowout.
Yeah, I am.
What'd you say, Preston?
Listen, if you die, I mean,
so 42-17. Let's just talk about how bad they blew up the Steelers and how bad their running game was. Like, Sony Michel had 15 rushes, 14 yards. Like, how? Like, how do you run the ball that bad? Like, and you still blow up the Steelers. That just tells you that the Steelers are downgrading right now. So 42-17, Patriots blow them out. There's not much more to say. Preston, who do you have?
All right. So I have a couple things to say. Patriots must have had just like a really good game plan. Brady just must have known how to tear that defense up. I don't think they were necessarily like that great. I think they just had a much better game plan, and the Steelers just came in unprepared, maybe distracted with the whole Antonio Brown. I don't know. But what I will say is somebody's going to rate the Dolphins this week, whether it's Antonio Brown and the Patriots or just the Patriots. Somebody's going to rate the Dolphins. And then whether it's Fitzmagic comes in and gets raped or Josh Rosen comes in and get raped, it's going to be your best. Patriots are favored 18, so I'm going to say Patriots win 28-10.
Okay, that's more reasonable. That's probably like the game it's going to be. But you know what? Since the Dolphins got blown out so bad, I'm just going to go ahead and give the Patriots 40. So, and one thing I want to say real quick, Gledhill, before you make your pick. They traded Demaryius Thomas for a 6th-round pick yesterday, so that could be making room for Gronkowski to come back. That's all I'm saying. You could see it. And then the Patriots will have that big team.
That's what I say about that.
So, yeah. Who do you have, Gledhill?
Yeah, man, Patriots 34-17. I think, I guess me and the Dolphins would cover.
Dolphins to cover, bold prediction.
They're obviously in turmoil right now. It's tough to see. With players requesting trades and everything after that first game, that was rough. The Patriots again, they have a great roster. Most well-run organization in all football. I think they're poised to at least get back to the AFC Championship game. I don't know if they'll get past Kansas City, but they'll at least get to the AFC Championship game. I honestly, right now, they're probably my Super Bowl pick. They're great, and they're gonna, I guess they haven't done well historically in Miami, but with the way the Dolphins are looking right now, there's no way the Patriots lose this game.
Yeah. All right, Kyle, who do you have?
All right, listen. Harvard University, whether it's Linsanity or Fitzmagic, the nicknames are endless. And I think it goes without saying the Miami Dolphins are going to absolutely get obliterated this weekend. It's going to be 42-3. Tom Brady's just going to go off. Who cares if they have Demaryius Thomas or Antonio Brown? Julian Edelman will have 3 touchdowns by himself. Though Tom Brady may even have a rushing touchdown. It's just Miami. Miami could get beat by most high schools in Texas, so it's a no-brainer.
That is true.
The Patriots 42-3.
You want to know why Preston? You want to know why, Preston? You're in last place. You're tied for last because you picked Fitzmagic against the Ravens. You had to do it. You had to do it. You had one job and you didn't do it. Hey, it's all right. I understand. You know what? I was kind of scared too until the first play.
Patriots or Miami.
So, but all right. What? You're kind of breaking up.
I also said teams were going to figure out Lamar Jackson, just like I said that with Patrick Mahomes last year.
Hey, not bad for a running back.
Wait, who do you cheer for in football? Oh yeah, this.
All right, next game.
All right, next game up. We have a candidate for a certain game of the week. Preston so lovingly refers to as the AIDS game of the week. The Buffalo Bills at the New York Giants.
Preston, take it away.
I won't be watching that game.
I'm
wasting my time.
No one will.
And this is a close one between the Jets and the Browns and the Giants and the Bills. But I'm going to have to go with Giants and the Bills just because the Browns still do have Baker Mayfield and Odell. And people are going to be tuning in the game to see if they actually still suck. So yeah, this is the AIDS game of the week right now. Bills and Giants. And Bills had a comeback against the Jets last week. But they looked terrible in that first half. And the Giants, honestly, I don't think they looked that bad against the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys just looked really good. And I'm going to surprise you here, and I'm going to take the Giants over the Bills in a close, relatively low-scoring game.
101 the last.
Go 20-17. I think Saquon is going to run all over the Bills' defense, even though the Bills' defense is pretty good. I don't think Josh Allen is able to carry like he needs to win this game.
So wait, what do you have Giants? What's the score?
20-7.
2017. All right, so I apologize for the technical difficulties. Preston's kind of breaking up right now, but they did hear you.
I think it's because Gledhill's he can hear me from his room.
How about every time y'all pick, after someone picks, y'all mute each other or something? Like one of you mute each other, or like.
Well, Gledhill just comes in here.
Yeah, Gledhill, just hang up and go to his room.
Should I?
No, Preston, you hang up and go to Gledhill's room because you're breaking up more.
I'll just hang
But
out.
that's because I'm louder. But I'm on my iPad, so if he comes here.
Well, you're breaking up more than he was. Like he was clear.
Well, because my voice, he could hear me and that I could hear him here.
Well, you're still breaking up right now. I didn't even hear what you said, to be honest.
Actually, if you get abducted, it'd be pretty cool. Then we could.
We'll try it out. We'll try it out in your room, and if not, you're gonna just go back to Gledhill's. All right. So Preston has Giants 2017. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Bills in a. I think are they playing in Buffalo?
They're playing at Giants.
They're playing at Giants. So let's go ahead and say that this is really a New York team versus a New Jersey team because the Giants are not a New York team, and they don't deserve to be a New York team. So Preston, I like what you said with the whole the Giants didn't look too terrible. It was more of the Cowboys looking really good, and that's true because the Giants started off pretty hot. They scored right on the Cowboys immediately. Saquon had a really good run. Eli Manning threw a touchdown. And then, the Cowboys came back to reality, got their offense going with Kellen Moore. It looked really super creative, and they were able to pull away in the end.
How about the Cowboys?
But the Giants still showed some promise. I think a lot of people are freaking out, saying oh, the Giants, they're doing the same thing. Like the Cowboys don't normally blow them out. Like it's normally a closer game because the division game. That was the first time I've ever seen the Cowboys obliterate a division rival like that. Just with their new scheme offense, it looked really good. I think the Giants are getting a little bit too much hate. At the end of the day, they're still bad, and they're still not going to make the playoffs. Hopefully, Danny Jones can come in pretty soon, because at this point, Eli is just Eli. But I'm going to take the Bills. I don't know how the hell the Bills won the game against the Jets. They had 5 turnovers in the first half, and they still came back and won. So, that's just telling you that the Jets choked that game so bad. We were all wrong on that game this week. I'm going to take the Bills. I'm going to say this one's more this is Aiden's game of the week. I'm going to say 20-10. No, 2013 Bills. So Gledhill, who do you have?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I don't know. I'm really not too sure. I think this could go either way. But I really like the Bills' defense, and I think drafting Ed Oliver really helps that. I also think Josh Allen looked pretty good last week, and they also had a couple of weapons on the outside.
Cole Beasley.
Man, I'm gonna take the Bills in this one. Low scoring game, 16-13. Why not?
All right. Joel, who do you have? Did you pick?
I've not picked yet. I'm taking the Bills by a field goal. It's gonna be 13-10, or maybe even 9-6. Just an ugly battle in New York. So, well, actually in New Jersey. But I'm going Bills because Giants are pretty trash. We gave them a good butt kicking this week. Kyle, what do you got?
You guys are talking the Bills. I think you guys also forget the Bills didn't make the playoffs for a decade until last
2 years ago.
I got excited. No, the Bills suck. They played the Jets. He sucked just as much. It's Eli's got some. They got Saquon. Saquon will just run through the Bills. It's going to be the Giants.
Whoa.
Giants are going to win 20.
Quad.
I don't want to say that. Let me do 17-3.
Okay. Did everyone pick?
I am one picked.
All right. So
Okay.
everyone has Bills except Preston and Kyle.
I'm looking up.
All right.
All
Next
right.
game.
Next
So
game
not
is Seattle Seahawks at the Steelers. The Steelers are a 4-point favorite at home.
Okay. So this is a really hard game for me. The Steelers. They didn't really look good against New England, but, it could be the fact that Preston was saying they didn't really game plan really well, and they probably got a little too excited and then got smacked in the mouth. I think Seattle's kind of sketchy on the road, and they didn't look really good against the Bengals. So I'm going to go ahead and take a upset here. Well, I don't know if it's an upset, really.
Favorite 4.5 points.
Steelers are 4-point favorite. Yeah, and I'm going to say that the Steelers win by a touchdown. I'm going to say that they win 27-20. I think it's going to be a big game showing for Big Ben, Juju Smith-Schuster being back at home. James Washington, hopefully he can get more involved. James Conner's going to open up the run game. I like Seattle's defense with Jadeveon Clowney. I think sooner or later they'll start getting it going. And Russell Wilson, obviously, he's amazing, one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and I think he's going to be able to make plays on his feet. But I just think that the Pittsburgh's going to take it to him this game, and I feel like Pittsburgh is going to win. 27-20. This is a risk, but I'm liking Pittsburgh in this game. So who do you have, Joel?
This game, Pittsburgh needs some redemption, definitely for sure. They're going back home to Heinz Field, and I think Pittsburgh takes this one over Seattle. Seattle just did not look good. Russell Wilson's definitely looking to bounce back. Again, while he's on the road this week, but I think the Steelers have too much to prove this season to get caught taking L's at home. I think that Steelers win 27-21. Final score.
Yeah, and if the Steelers lose this game, especially if they look bad again, then it's probably going to be a bad season. So,
yeah.
But yeah, who do you have, Preston?
I'm going to take the Steelers as well. I agree with you. If the Seahawks were at home, I would take the Seahawks. But since the Steelers are at home, I'm going to have to go with them against the Patriots, but I think they'll bounce back. And, Seahawks, they're a great receiving core. Definitely some talent. Still a lot to develop there. And they just don't have the weapons to give them the opportunity to get this on the road. So I'm going to say Steelers 4-20.
24-20. All right. Gledhill.
Yeah, I would say both teams have a lot of questions entering this game. I think that's I don't know if I like either of the team's secondaries. I think adding will help the Seahawks a lot down in the yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna take the Steelers probably because they're at home. I think if they can open up the run game with James Conner, I think it'll give them opportunity to for Big Ben to connect with guys like Juju, and we'll see how Moncrief looks. He didn't look great last week, but I dropped a few balls. But I think maybe he'll have a better game. I'm going to take the Steelers at home, 27-20.
Same score as me. All right, Kyle, who do you have? Seahawks at Steelers?
This is a tough one. Because I don't think either of these teams are all that strong this year. Russell Wilson is Russell Wilson. Big Ben's Big Ben. Juju's Juju. I like the Steelers. Big Ben, they got James Conner at running back. Juju's probably going to play pretty well. Martavis Bryant still on the Steelers?
Nah, not anymore.
Maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah.
Martavis Bryant was
they don't have the swagger
over the edge.
Yeah, they don't have the swagger they used to. Let's go. I'm gonna stick with the Steelers. I think it'll be a pretty close game. I think it'll be like a 28-21. It'll be like probably one of those last 3-minute drives. Well, Big Ben will lead them down there. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Steelers 28-21.
Sounds good. So we all got Steelers, which was very surprising. I thought some people would pick the Seahawks, but all right, next game.
All right. Next game up on our. Oh, wait, we'll skip over the Cowboys. We'll let Eric go last on that. So we're gonna go Arizona Cardinals at Baltimore. 13-point favorite at Baltimore.
13 point.
13-point.
Well, I
favorite.
have them winning by 14, so I'm gonna say 28-14 Ravens. They looked really good against the obviously credits the Dolphins freaking high school defense out there, but
Amen.
I mean. The Ravens, Lamar Jackson is shutting everyone up right now, and he played really well. Like I said last week, the Ravens are the fastest team in the league. With Marquise Brown and Lamar Jackson and Mark Ingram, they have fast people on that team, so they can move. Their defense very physical. The Ravens are a really, really balanced team, and honestly, I know it was the Dolphins, but at the end of the day, the Ravens look really good right now, and I think they're the favorite to win that division, especially with the Steelers. We don't know how they're going to look right away, and then the Browns are the Browns. So, and they'll have to put things together. What'd you say?
I said it's one game. Don't sleep on the Browns yet.
Yeah, I'm not sleeping on the Browns. I'm just saying right now the Ravens, being the division rivals, the defending division rivals, they should be the favorite as of right now, and I can't pick against them. Just yet. So, and Arizona, props to Kyler Murray because he was playing like crap in the first half, but he showed some, heart, and he overcame adversity, and he brought them back and forced overtime, and they ended up tying. So, sometimes it's not your fault there. They ended up tying. I had the Lions winning that game by like a field goal, I think, or something like that, but they fought. It looking like it was going to be a blowout. But Kyler Murray, very impressed with how he played. And, hopefully he can continue to prove the doubters wrong because I love Kyler Murray. So, but no, not this game. Baltimore's defense is too strong. He's going to get sacked a lot. Kyler Murray will struggle. I think he'll throw like 2 picks, 28-14 Ravens. Pretty easy dub. So who do you have, Gledhill?
Yeah, I mean, I really don't like the Cardinals' offensive line at all. I saw a video last week where I don't know. It was just horrible. I mean, it didn't look like anyone was in the right position. But I mean, the Ravens again. They looked like they came out with something to prove last week. Everyone was kind of saying it was either going to be the Browns or the Steelers, and it might still end up being that. But the Ravens looked great. It was against the Dolphins, but I mean, they vertical. Lamar Jackson made some big throws. Man, I really like the Ravens overall. One of the more balanced teams in the league. I would definitely agree with that. I think 2-0 this week against the Cardinals. I don't pick against them in this game, even especially at home. I think, I think they'll get to very early on. Maybe force him to make some bad throws because he is a rookie quarterback in just his second game. So Ravens win. I'm going to go 34-13.
Okay, so pretty big blowout there. So who do you have, Kyle?
I don't know if you guys watched last week. The Browns, that first drive, I thought they could have won the Super Bowl. And then after that, they just tanked. I think they're going to iron out kind of some of those problems. I think the Browns are actually going to end up being pretty good.
It's the Cardinals, not the Browns.
I see why you're confused. They are both very bad teams.
Yes. Okay, sorry. Back it up. Cardinals, no, don't like him at all. Kyler Murray didn't look. I don't know. I'm not a big Cardinals fan. Bruce Arians is not.
He's not even there anymore.
Yeah.
So
that says everything I know about the Cardinals. Who even cares? Well, I'll take the Ravens. It's gonna. Yeah, it'll probably be pretty close to a blowout. 34 to. They'll sneak a touchdown in there.
34-7?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, no, and what you were saying, you kind of, even though you didn't even know that Bruce Arians was on the team, that's been a big downfall for them, because not having Bruce Arians has totally, their new, they haven't been able to have, a good, they haven't been successful since he's been gone.
Yeah.
So, I think that plays a big factor in that, and,
Great coach.
So, Cliff Kingsbury, the offensive-minded college coach, he's going to try to, showcase their offense, but they don't have any weapons really, and the offensive line is banged up. So,
Yeah, the only thing they're winning this year is handsomest coach of the year.
All right.
You know what, Eric? Why don't we fire former coach and hire someone who had a losing record in college?
That sounds like a smart plan, man. Just because he had a copy with Sean McVay, man. That's the only reason why.
Hey, they haven't lost yet.
He went and sat down in a Starbucks with Sean McVay, and 3 weeks later got hired as the Arizona Cardinals head coach.
I mean, look at college coaches that don't have successful NFL careers. Nick Saban, terrible. Cliff Kingsbury, not to a good start so far. Let's see, who else am I thinking? Chip Kelly.
He's undefeated, Eric.
Hey,
Like, got him.
I saw a thing where it was like Antonio Brown had the best Browns career, or the
Best
best Raiders career, and someone was like, "Yeah, best career ever," because he. But they're like, "No, he didn't have the best career because he never won a game." And then someone was like, "Never lost either," and it was like the meme where it's like the guys like that. So I thought that was kind of funny. But anyways, what was I saying? I totally went off topic. What was I even saying?
I don't remember what you were saying.
Oh yeah, coaches that done bad in the
Okay.
NFL. So I said Nick Saban, terrible. Cliff Kingsbury, Preston, I guess he's undefeated right now. Chip Kelly, terrible. Who else? Jim or John Harbaugh? I get the
Jim
mixed up.
Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh.
Jim.
He won he got them to the Super Bowl, but other than that, they were kind of mediocre after that. So terrible. Michigan, overrated. So, anyways, I can go on about college coaches that didn't really have successful careers in the NFL, but anyways, like I said, go ahead and pick. Who still has to pick? Preston? Yeah, you still have to pick.
Yep, I'll keep it simple. We've been talking about this game. Y'all said it all. Ravens, 28-10.
Okay, and everyone picked.
No, I still gotta go.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I think John Harbaugh, superior Harbaugh brother. Definitely, they just blow them out. They're gonna be at home. Cardinals defense won't do absolutely anything, and their offense against a historically always good Baltimore Ravens defense just stands no chance, even with the air raid offense, whatever that means.
Yeah.
So I'm taking Baltimore 33, Cardinals 10 or maybe 13.
Okay. I covered the spread by 1 point, so I mean we'll see what happens. All right, next game. Who we got?
Okay, next up on the list is we have the Jacksonville Jaguars at Houston Texans. 9.5
Another
point
divisional
favorite.
game.
Another division game.
Another divisional game. Who wants to start this one? Y'all can go. I don't care.
I'll go back to back. I'll start this one off. All right. Houston, 9.5 point favorite, looking for some redemption off of a crazy Monday night loss in the Superdome. I think they come back hungry, and I mean Jacksonville definitely doesn't stand a chance with Nick Foles' clavicle injury just taking him out. I mean he was the best quarterback that the Philadelphia Eagles ever had, but now that he's injured, he can't do anything for Jacksonville, and he has to live inside the shadow of Blake Bortles. So who can do that, honestly? I think Texans win this one outright, 24-21.
All right.
Yeah.
Who do you have? Who do you have?
Oh man, see, I'm partial to this because the Colts are in the AFC South, and as much as I hate to say it, the Houston Texans are great. They're a good team this year, and Jacksonville is. I mean, they're all right. I mean, they had Big Dick Nick, and he was the only thing they really had going for him. This whatever guy. How do you say Gatrevius?
Gardner Mishnu or whatever.
Mishnu.
Mishnu.
Adam
I don't even know.
Juice.
Travius Mishnu? I don't know. Whoever he is, he's a rookie. Yeah, there you go. Rookie. He actually started Mishnu the second. Let's give him credit for it. Yeah, it's just not gonna be all that close. This is gonna be an interesting score. I wrote it down.
You came prepared.
It's gonna be 28-12. There's gonna be a safety.
Hey, I like that. I like that idea.
28-12. There's gonna be a safety.
You got Texans?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Houston.
All right, Preston. Who do you got?
I got Texans 28-12, Jaguars all field goals.
Wait, what? Jaguars? What?
All field goals.
Heck yeah.
All right.
Heck yeah.
Don't touch the end zone.
All right. Not much more to say there, huh?
Nope, Deshaun Watson looked good. Just, I don't know, Drew Brees, I guess, at the end of the day. That was just a good game. One that the Texans should have pulled out, but they didn't.
Yeah. So let me start off by saying, how the heck did how did the Texans blow that game, man? Like, that game was amazing. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not discrediting Drew Brees at all for taking them to the game-winning lead, but the Texans literally had 6 seconds to just man up on a guy, and they decided to play prevent. And Drew Brees literally just threw a quick pass, went down, called a timeout, and then Will Lutz had to kick a career-high 58 game-winning yard field goal to take the win. It was crazy, man. It was a great game. I loved watching it. It was the first Monday Night Football game in NFL history where the last minute there was 2 lead changes from both teams. So that was interesting. I thought, Deshaun Watson had a more impressive drive just because, he was down and he went out there and he threw 2 big darts and got the touchdown. And then, Texans defense, it happened again. I said this last year and it happened again. So Deshaun Watson has to play really good just for the Texans defense to let him down. J.J. Watt was non-existent. He needs to get involved. I think he will with the Jaguars offense. I don't think they're really good. Gardner Minshew, however you say his name.
Minshew the second.
He didn't look bad. But he's not Nick Foles. I think he's gonna be in for a rude awakening this game. So I don't think he's ready to get his dub, not especially against a NFC or AFC South opponent that is strong. And the Texans, who won the division last year, I think they have more experience. I think they're overall a better team, offensively, defensively. Actually, defensively might go to the Jags, but defensively probably to the Jaguars. But still, I just think they're a more well-rounded team than the Jaguars, and I think they're going to get a pretty good dub. Deshaun Watson looked really good. The only thing that's going to hold the Texans back this year is the secondary and the offensive line, which still needs a lot of work if they want to do anything in the playoffs. So I got Texans. I think they're going to get a pretty decisive win, and I'm going to say that they go in there and they blow out Jacksonville. I'm going to say that they win 34-16. So that's what I got. Who do you got, Gledhill?
Actually, I like a really close game. It's divisional matchup, right? Yeah, divisional matchup. I think if the Jaguars front seven can get after Deshaun Watson, which I think they might be able to do, with the way their the Texans' offensive line is looking. And I think it's going to be a little bit lower scoring, but at the end of the day, I think Deshaun Watson is going to make a play late that's going to carry him to the victory. It's going to be 20-17. I think they also respond well from the loss to the Saints. They got some good leaders in that locker room with Deshaun Watson and J.J. Watt, and I think they're going to respond well. So 20-17, Texans win.
All right, did everyone pick?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so we're going to start moving a little bit faster just because we're running a little far on time. So let's go ahead and go.
All right, Chiefs at Oakland, easy money. The Kansas City goes in there, wrecks it.
Is anyone taking the Raiders? Anyone?
No.
Fuck no.
No, definitely not.
We all got Chiefs?
The same way I'm taking Eric's virginity.
What?
42-21.
I'm gonna say it's a closer one. Just because are they playing in Oakland?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's a closer one because they always have pretty close games in Oakland. I'm gonna say it's a high scoring game. I'm gonna say Chiefs win 38-31. I'm gonna say it's a close, high scoring game. Don't be surprised when you see it. All right, what do you got? Score
40-20.
40-20.
42-21.
42-21. Gledhill.
34-27.
42-24.
Gledhill speaking my language. All right, next game.
All right, next game we got Chirac at Denver Broncos.
Oh, easy.
Are they playing in Mile High?
In Mile High. I'm honestly taking Denver in this
I'm
one.
taking Denver too. I got Denver winning this game. I think Mitch Trubisky is going to struggle in Mile High against a still solid Broncos defense. Broncos looked horrible against the Raiders, but the Raiders didn't look that bad either. So I think the pass rush of Nick Chubb and Von Miller is going to get to this O-line, and they're going to sack Mitch Trubisky. He's going to throw 3 interceptions, And I got the Broncos winning this game. I think Chicago's is on a downfall right now until they proven otherwise. Defense is obviously really good. I think this game is going to be very boring to watch. I think this game is going to be 17-14 Broncos.
Wow.
All right, who do you got?
I think we're forgetting the Bears have a very good defense.
I said they have a good defense. It's gonna be a low scoring game.
And Joe Flacco struggled. He just doesn't. He doesn't look like he wants to be there. So this is an easy pick for me. I'll keep it short, and sweet. 17-3, the Bears.
Ooh. All right, Joel. You said you had Denver, right?
I have Denver winning this. I don't think Mitchell Trubisky can go into Mile High and play remotely good football. Sadly, I have him in fantasy for some reason.
That sucks.
You hate to see it.
You hate to see it.
But I think that Denver pulls this one out 13-10. Nothing special. No one wants to watch this game. It's going to be one of those you wake up on Monday morning like, oh, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, even if the Bears do win, I still think it's going to be a low scoring, boring game. Who do you got, Gledhill?
Yeah, it's going to be a close game, low scoring. I don't know. I mean, the Broncos are at home.
They beat a lot of teams in Mile High last year.
You know, they're going to bench him and whatnot, but I don't think that's going to happen. I just looked up that their backup quarterback is Chase Daniels. So, yeah. I don't know. I mean, their offense couldn't move the ball against Green Bay, which Green Bay, I mean, they do have an improved defense, but like it might be top 10 in the league, but it's not like one of the league's best. And they couldn't do anything against. So, and the Broncos do have a really good defense, I would say. So, yeah, I'm gonna say it's 20-19. Broncos kick a game-winning field goal. They win the game, and that's the Bears are going to be 0-2. It's not good.
Broncos are going to win the Matt.
Savage.
I like that.
I say Chicago's going to come in and win this game. Here's why. The Bears only ran the ball 15 times last game, and they still averaged over 3 yards a carry, which goes to tell you that they really just needed to run the ball more and get the running game going. Like, there was so much talk about David Montgomery during like the preseason and everything, and he only carried the ball 6 times. So I think the Bears are going to look at that, and they're going to start running the football because Mitch Trubisky, like, they need to get the running game going so that way it open things up for him and he can get into play action. And, that'll help kind of, with, the pass rush and everything like that. And so, yeah, I think the Bears are going to win in a low-scoring game. Honestly, this actually could end up being the AIDS game of the week, but it's on paper it isn't. I'm going to say it's going to be 10 to Bears.
Okay. Next game?
All right. Next game, we got Saints at the Rams. Rams 2.5-point favorite. This one will be This one will be a good game.
This might be the game of the week, but this also could be a little bit of a disappointment. But we'll see. I don't think they're going to disappoint, but I could see it being a disappointment. I don't think it is. I guess I'll go ahead and I'll start this game. Oh man, dude. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it, but I'm going to do it. I got the Rams, man. I got the Rams.
You hate to see it.
You hate to see it, but I got the Rams. I think New Orleans showed a lot of flaws last week against a really good offense, and I think the Rams overall have a better offense than the Saints. The Saints are going to want to go in there and get a really big win, especially after the NFC Championship with the whole them getting screwed. So this is a revenge game for the Saints. But I think they're going to get smacked in the mouth, like not like a blowout or anything. I'm just saying they're going to get humbled. Like, they're going to try to go in there and be like, all right, this is our chance to beat the Rams, but they're going to come up short. I think this is going to be a really high-scoring, fun game. I'm going to say 34-31. Rams take a big win. I think Jared Goff still has yet to show me that he can show up in a big game. They didn't look really good against Carolina. Credit they were on the road. I think Todd Gurley's going to get more involved this game. These are always really good, solid, NFC rivals right here from opposite divisions. It's going to be an exciting one, man. I wouldn't be surprised if the Saints take it, but I'm going to take the Rams. I think the Rams are going to get a really big win at home, and I'm going to say that they win 34-31. So that's just what I got. Joel?
I think Saints coming off of an emotional loss last year. I think the Saints will not only travel well to this game, but also the Rams fans don't show up. And I think that they're going to go in there and home field advantage won't be as big as people think it is. And Saints going to come back for a grudge match, and it might end up being dirty, but I think that the Saints pull this one off. Rams took a step back. Saints probably stayed about plateaued from where they were last year, I think, overall. So I'm going Saints win this one. Not as high scoring as it could be for an early game in the season. I'm going to go 27-24.
All right. Kyle?
Listen, I'm going with my man, the man who went to Purdue, Indiana boy, Drew Brees. The Saints are going to win it 28-27 in the most exciting 28-27 match of football we've ever seen.
This is my upset of the week. Just thought I'd say that.
Yeah.
All right.
That was an upset if
I
you picked
take the Vikings. That was
Wait,
my
the Rams
upset.
are favorites?
Yes, it's at the Rams.
Wow, I did not know that. I keep on thinking these games are upsets, but I guess I'm not too crazy then.
That's why you don't read.
I didn't read the spread this week, guys, all right? All right, who do you got, Preston? Wait.
Yeah, so I'm going to take the Saints game because they're going to come out with a chip on their shoulder. And, I think the Rams, I like their strategy to save Todd Gurley until the fourth quarter, but I think that might backfire on them this game because Drew Brees is going to come out swinging, and I think the Rams are going to get behind Gurley, and Jared Goff is going to be able to do anything to catch it back up. So, yeah, I got the Saints winning 35-31.
To what?
31.
All right, high-scoring game. Gledhill?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a hell of a game. Obviously, I think we're all looking forward to it. I'm going to go. I'm this one.
You're gonna take who?
I like. What's that?
Who are you taking?
I'm taking the Rams.
Oh, let's go!
Yeah, man, I'm picking the Rams. I like their secondary a lot better than New Orleans. I think getting Cooper Kupp back is big for their offense. They're gonna hopefully they'll give the ball to Todd Gurley a lot more, and that'll open up the pass game for Goff. I think he's gonna make some really big throws down the stretch. Brandon Cooks, Kupp, but again, Drew Brees is the quarterback. And, I think the Saints are going to put up some points as well, and it's going to be really close. A nice slugfest in week 2. But I got the Rams taking it at home. Let's go 37-34.
All right. Awesome.
Yep.
Me and Gledhill got the Rams. Next game.
All right, we got Philly at Atlanta. Philly's a 2-point favorite on the road.
Gledhill, just go ahead and go back to back. Who do you got this game?
Oh gosh, I really like the Eagles. I think, Carson Wentz is really good. Last week, Deshaun Jackson still has that speed, even as he's getting up there in age. I don't like Atlanta's defense at all, especially in their secondary. I think Wentz is going to make some big plays, and Philly's going to roll in this one. I got them winning 30-13.
I got Philly winning. I think it's actually going to be a higher scoring game, but I think Philly's going to come through with the dub. Like you said, you don't really like the Falcons' defense. I don't really like the Philadelphia Eagles' secondary, so I think that's going to have Matt Ryan having a big game with Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley. What's his name? Austin Hooper, who had 9-10 catches last game or something like that. So he got involved. But I just think the defensive line of the Philadelphia Eagles is gonna, get, some big plays in the end, and I think that they're they're going to end up taking the win. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think this one's going to be a pretty high-scoring game. I got 30-27. Eagles take the dub.
Okay, I'll go up next.
Hard game in Atlanta, by the way.
Yeah, I definitely think that Philadelphia is the better team going into Atlanta. Pretty much, Carson Wentz turned it on in the second half and showed you why they paid him this offseason and why Philadelphia has been Philadelphia the past couple of years. It's hard to admit for me, a Cowboys fan, even though I think we're taking the NFC East again this year. So I think Philadelphia goes into Atlanta and takes one away on the road. I'm going to go a little bit lower scoring, 21-14 for this game.
Okay. Yeah, and this is a possible trap game. Who's the favorite? Eagles?
The Eagles by 2 points on the road.
Yeah, I think possibly Atlanta could take it because Atlanta, it's a hard place to win in Atlanta, in the Mercedes Dome. So, and last year they had a close game in Philly. So we'll see what happens. But and if Eagles start slow like they did against the Redskins, I don't think they'll come back and win. Not this game. So they got to start off fast. That's why I think it's gonna be. But I think it's gonna be low scoring. Who do you got, Kyle? Or high scoring? Who you got?
I'm going to take Philly. I don't like them. I think they're overhyped, but they're going to win this one. I think it's going to be kind of a boring game. It's going to be like 17-14 or something.
Okay. Who do you got? Gledhill.
Already picked.
Oh, you did? Yeah, you're right. You started. Preston, sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to surprise you guys here. I'm going to go with the Falcons.
I like it.
And
I like
here's
the
why.
pick.
So you talked about the Falcons' rush defense last game, right? How much they struggled against the Vikings. Well, the Eagles don't really have a running game. Carson Wentz is going to have to make plays. And I think the Falcons will try and switch things up to stop the running game in the beginning. But I think Carson Wentz is going to have to make plays, and I think they're going to, shut work to Sean Jackson. So I got the say 20-17.
The Falcons could very well win this game. Like I said, the secondary of the Eagles is not good, and Julio Jones, Matt Ryan, Calvin Ridley could get ugly. But I like what you said, Preston. I was leaning towards Atlanta like this whole week, but I didn't like how they looked against Minnesota. Both these teams struggled early on, so that's why I think it's kind of hard to pick the Falcons right now until they tell me otherwise. I just think the safe pick right now is Philly. So, but yeah. Anyways.
All right. Next game, second last game of the week, we got the Cleveland Browns at New York Jets. I'll go ahead and knock this one out for myself. I think Cleveland's got something to prove on the road, but they won't. So I'm taking the Jets here. Wow. Sam Darnold comes in and kicks some Baker Mayfield butt. Low scoring because neither of them have that great offensive weapons, really. 21-17.
Preston.
Did you just say that neither of them have offensive weapons?
Yeah, neither of them have any offense.
Baker Mayfield has Odell, Jarvis Landry, freaking Nick Chubb, and then eventually he's going to have Breon.
He has an injury kid,
no excuses there
another
except
to an injury kid, and the O-line can't block.
This is a hard game for me. Who do you... I'm sorry, Preston, go ahead.
Now, I'm going to have the Browns winning. I'm still going to hang on to the Browns hype train. I just think Tennessee was really good, and Baker had a really bad fourth quarter. That's why the blowout just got even worse than what it was. I think they get the running game going, and, they don't have that kind of deficit in the fourth quarter where Baker has to try and bring him back. And maybe their left tackle doesn't kick the other guy in the face. And the 180 yards worth of penalties, then I think we have a different game. I think people are overreacting to the Browns. So if the Browns don't commit penalties, they get the running game going, and Baker just manages the game, and Freddie Kitchens needs to stay out of the kitchen. Does a better job making play calls. Then I think the Browns will blow out, but I don't think it will be a blowout. I think it'll be 20-16.
I just think Adam Juice, as Eric likes to call him, versus Freddie Kitchens. Man, Adam Juice got the juice this week, bro.
All right, Gledhill. So this is a battle of your favorite analyst quarterbacks. You have Colin Cowherd taking Sam Darnold over Baker Mayfield. So I think we know who he's picking this week. But who do you have?
Who do I have?
Yeah.
Man, shoot. I think the Browns. There have been a lot of overreactions surrounding the Browns going into the season. We're saying, they're gonna win their division. They're like Super Bowl contenders. They have better rosters, and then obviously they get smoked by the Titans, who I just think we're probably more ready to play. I think the Browns kind of had that success on that first drive, and then they thought they were good to go, and then they just didn't show enough discipline, and they had all those penalties. And but man, I think Baker is a really, really good leader. I think he leads in a different way than maybe some folks are accustomed to. But I think he's troops. I think Baker's done a really good job in his career. He can go back to college of responding in the midst of adversity. I think he's going to do that here. I think he's really going to respond, and I think the Browns are going to look a lot better this week. I like the Jets a lot. I think it'll be a close game, but I got to take the week two to win their first game of the season. Go even up the record at 1-1, and it's going to be 24-17 Browns win.
All right, Kyle said this was an easy game, so who do you have?
It's easy. The Browns.
Okay.
Browns are just so much better than the Jets. They got a quarterback, they got wide receivers, they got a running back. I think first game was just kind of a fluke. They're going to come out hot. They're going to do well. It's going to be like 28-3.
All right. So this leads me to me, huh? So this game is really a toss-up for me. Flip the coin. Last year, Cleveland got their first win against New York, and over I think what was it, like over 300 something days, or it was it was longer than that, but because they went 0-16 the year before. They got a big win over them last year when they were kind of more or less improved. I think Cleveland has a lot more to prove this game than New York. New York got off to a hot start against the Bills, but they weren't able to come through. They're in New York, so this is a really hard game. Man, dude, this is a toss-up. This really could go either way. I think it's going to be close regardless. But I trust Baker Mayfield over Sam Darnold, so I'm going to take the Browns 24-21. It's a tough one, man, but I think Cleveland, being smacked in the mouth against a really good Tennessee defense and a good Tennessee team, I think they're going to put it together. Baker Mayfield's going to feel dangerous on Sunday morning or Sunday, whatever they play, and they're going to get a really close win. 24-21, I got the Browns. Come on, Browns, don't let me down this week. All right.
Last game of the week. It has to be the Cowboys. So, Cowboys at Redskins. My boys, 5.5-point favorites on the road.
Okay, so, Preston, since you love the Cowboys so much, why don't you start this game?
Well. What do we have here? Well, I think the Cowboys fans actually have something to cheer about this year. Dak came out, played really well that first game. I was super impressed. When Saquon had that big run on the Giants' first drive, I was like, oh shit, Eric's about to be a jinx. And then something else happened after that. So, honestly, my gut's kind of telling me the Redskins do have to pull off an upset. They didn't look that bad against the Eagles. They got up and they blew a lead. I mean, Case Keenum played surprisingly well. And then they had coming back this game as well. I think if the Redskins get the run going, they could have a chance, but I don't think they will just because of the Cowboys' linebacking core. Arguably best linebacking core in the league. I got the – and I think it's going to be a close game because it's divisional, and I don't think it's going to be super high scoring. I say 28-24.
Okay. Very nice.
I'm taking Jerry Jones in this one. He's handing out millions, and well, some people get paid. And I just they looked really good in game one. I thought Dak Prescott was kind of a fluke, but he was a real deal in that first game. Zeke, Dak for the first time I think actually overpowered Zeke, which was really impressive. Amari Cooper's still doing his thing, so yeah, there's no doubt it's going to be the Cowboys, and it's going to be 28-10.
Okay, Joel.
I have no bias here whatsoever. But the Cowboys are definitely winning the Super Bowl this year. And I know I've said that every year in the past, but this year I mean it. And I know I also said that every year in the past, but this year I mean it. And so I just think the Cowboys are better than Philly, so going on the road to Washington is not even going to be an issue. Philly started off slow. Cowboys didn't start off that slow. They're going to come out swinging. I don't think they'll score as much on Washington's defense as they were scoring the Giants' just trash can that they have out there.
Yeah.
So I'm taking Dallas over the Redskins. Win by 2 touchdowns in Washington. Dallas 33. Redskins, what was that, 17?
That's
19.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like 33-21 better.
Okay. Gledhill, who do you got, bro?
I think Case Keenum hurt, and Colt McCoy is going to come in and lead the Redskins to victory. No, I'm just kidding. I thought the Cowboys looked really amazing, especially on the offensive side. You know, that's what everyone's saying. They got so many methods of attacking different defenses. I think the sheer presence of Zeke allowed Dak to kind of open things up in the passing game. He has so many weapons, more weapons than ever. The signing of Randall Cobb kind of went under the radar, but that was a really big move for them.
And lost Cole Beasley, though.
Amari Cooper, Jason Witten back now, Michael Gallup. The offensive line is good. If Dak does not have success, I don't think he'll ever have success. I think Dak's paid. Jerry Jones said it was. I think it's going to happen. It's a division game. Redskins look pretty good. Last week against the Eagles, got that early lead. It's going to be I'm going to Cowboys win 30-24.
Yeah. So before I get into the Cowboys, like everyone really said, Washington didn't look bad against Philly, but I think what really kind of killed them was the second half. They didn't really make any adjustments to Doug Peterson. I think Doug Peterson just outcoached them. And I think they couldn't really get anything going that much far in the late game. They got a garbage minute touchdown, which ended up making it a 4-point game or something like that. So they started off really hot. So they're going to have to do that against the Cowboys if they want to have any chance of winning the game. But I just think the Cowboys, for how good right now that their offense is, I think a lot of people are I think they're going to be stunned by Kellen Moore's play calling. Looked really good. Being completely unbiased, just being a fan of football, I haven't seen anything like that from the Cowboys and since I've been watching them. And I seriously have not seen play calling that good, coaching that good, a quarterback that's willing to, come out first game of the week, sling in offense, making defense guess. I credit it's a Giants defense that's, really bad, but, against anybody, they just looked good, the plays that they were calling, and they had the Giants, like I said, guessing. And like I said, this is probably the most balanced team I've seen for the Cowboys in a long time. It's 1 week, so we got to see how they do it over time. I'm really excited, man. I know it's the narrative every year that this is the year for the Cowboys, but honestly, if you think about it, this might have to be the year for the Cowboys. It might have to be just because of the whole, pressure that they have on each other. So if they don't win it now, shoot, they might not ever win it until I'm alive. So
I can't until they make it to the NFC Championship and then choke this year.
Hey, at least you have them making it to the championship game. That's the only thing that can save Jason Garrett's job.
For sure.
But
That would be so funny. I would be kind of sad, but at the same time, I would
Yeah,
laugh.
it would be typical Cowboys. But anyways, like I said,
They're a fun team to watch.
yeah, they're a really fun team to watch this year. One game at a time, like I said. I'm not going to be like last year where we get a big win. I'm like, oh yeah, Cowboys, they're going to dominate this week. No, I think we're going to get a pretty good win. And that's just being unbiased. I think we're going to start off really strong, having the Washington secondary guessing. I think we'll have a faster start than Philly did, and I think that's just going to kind of be like able to overcome them. Last year they beat us in Washington from terrible coaching calls, but I think Dak Prescott has a lot to prove to his haters this year, and I think the Cowboys are going to get another big win. I'm going to say 31-24. I think it'll be significantly closer high scoring in Washington. I think Washington will probably keep it close for a little bit, but I have Dallas pulling away in the end, and I think it'll be a pretty good dub, and they'll showcase another really good offensive scheme against Washington secondary. So I got Cowboys 31-24. That's it, man. That's our picks this week. I picked a lot of upsets this week. I mean they're not really upsets, but they could like.
No,
just,
you didn't pick the upsets. You picked
He picked a lot of favorites this week, like he does every week. Even though I said he's gonna pick more favorites this year. So don't expect him to pick.
I don't know, man. It didn't seem like some of these games. I didn't even expect this team to be a favorite. Like honestly, I was not expecting it.
It's all about who's home and who's away because the NFL has a 3-point.
Yeah,
you get 3 points.
So I took a risk on the Browns game. I took a risk on the Rams game. I'm not really tight on Philly and Falcons. That could go either way. Cincinnati and San Francisco. There's a lot. Chicago, Denver. There's a lot of games this week. Like this week is going to be either be really good or really bad for me. So we'll see. You guys got anything else to say? No, we good.
Hey, Instagram handle down below. Twitter handle at Sexy Troop Lover, aka Barry McCockiner. Just follow me on Twitter, bro.
Tom Brady's the GOAT. All right, guys. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out.